Today's video is brought to you by ablmerch.com. Use promo code 1776 to get 20% off your next order. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Michelle Obama saying that she fears for the safety of her two daughters because they could be racially profiled by the police and something bad might happen like George Floyd or somebody else. Now, I've heard quite a few ridiculous woke takes right here on Al Gore's internets, but this one might just take the cake. Now, before I go into the rabbit hole and go any further, let's go ahead and roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see Michelle Obama speaking to Gayle King over on CBS about the whole situation, about George Floyd, the jury, police brutality, her daughters. After we get done watching that, I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
We also spoke with Mrs. Obama about some of the other challenges facing America. We asked about her reaction to the jury's decision to find Derek Chauvin guilty for the death of George Floyd. After the verdict, she and former President Obama released a statement saying the jury in Minneapolis did the right thing. She told us what compelled them to speak out after that critical decision.
The goal is to let leaders lead, but in certain times people, look to us often, well, what do you think? How do you feel? And we know that while we're all breathing a sigh of relief over the verdict, there's still work to be done. And so we can't sort of say, great, that happened, let's move on. I know that people in the Black community don't feel that way because many of us still live in fear as we go to the grocery store or worry about walking our dogs or allowing our children to get a license. I mean, just imagine.
Aren't your girls driving?
They're driving. Yeah. But every time they get in a car by themselves, I worry about what assumption is being made by somebody who doesn't know everything about them. The fact that they are good students and polite girls, but maybe they're playing their music a little loud. Maybe somebody sees the back of their head and makes an assumption. I, like so many parents of Black kids, have to, that the innocent act of getting a license puts fear in our hearts. So I think we have to talk about it more, and we have to ask our fellow citizens to listen a bit more and to believe us and to know we don't want to be out there marching. I mean, all those Black Lives Matters kids, they'd rather not have to worry about this. They're taken to the streets because they have to. They're trying to have people understand that we're real folks. And the fear that many have of so many of us is irrational. And it's based on a history that is just, it's sad and it's dark. And it's time for us to move beyond that.
All right. So you saw that, you heard that. Now, I don't know where to begin. There's so much there. First and foremost, the elephant in the room, Michelle Obama, why are you throwing the police under the bus? Why are you doing that? Is that going to help or hurt things in the country? We need to have better relations between the police and just regular, average, everyday normies. I mean, for the most part, in everyday America, it's not really a big deal. But see, some people have that fear in the back of their mind that's stoked by Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Maxine Waters, and everybody else is out there talking crazy about the whole situation with George Floyd and hands up, don't shoot, all these things. They're speaking about all these things and they're putting it out there like, hey, if you are a person of color, whatever that means, or anyone else, the police are out to get you. You got to watch your back. You must be scared whenever you get pulled over. You're putting that in people's minds and they go out there and sometimes they react negatively toward the police because of it. Now you put in the big target on the back of police. You're making their jobs harder. Why? Why are you throwing the police under the bus? It makes it harder for everyone, the police and the regular civilian as well. Furthermore, the other clear elephant in the room is that your daughters have Secret Service protection. Okay, so you're throwing the police under the bus, but you have your own private police force. Miss Obama, who does Secret Service protect you from? Is it the big bad white man officer that may be out there profiling your daughters? Or is it against the general public? You know, the fan that might be kind of overzealous, somebody that might not like you for your political opinion, just a regular, average, everyday citizen. It's going to be your regular, average, everyday citizen that is crazy or something like that, that wants to harm you, not the police officer. That's going to be at least of your problems. Okay. So you want to throw the police under the bus, yet you have your own private police force, and that's fine. You're not going to throw them under the bus, but you're going to throw the police that we rely on as regular citizens under the bus. How does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. And then this whole thing about living in fear. Who's living in fear really? Like I was saying earlier, if anybody's living in fear, that's a regular normie person of color, and they fear the police, is because of people like Michelle Obama, Joe Biden, and everybody else in the Democratic Party, AOC, and all the rest of them. They're putting that fear in their heart. They're putting negative thoughts in the back of their mind. They're stoking the fear. So if you're talking about people living in fear and you don't want that to be the case, maybe you should stop stoking the fear, right? And if you're talking about black folks specifically, I mean, come on, who are we going to fear? Is it going to be the police or another black person? Now, for anybody out there that may get triggered or they may get offended by that, I'm not saying that every black person is a criminal and they're out to get you. But if you're a black person, who is going to statistically be your biggest threat? Is it going to be the white man? Is it going to be the Asian man, the Hispanic man, the policeman, the fireman, or the black man? You tell me. Now, if you're going to live in fear, then let's just focus where the fear should actually be. But the reality, for the average person, they're not living in fear. Unless they're in a very dangerous area, they're not living in fear. The only fear that they have is because of the media stoking it. Oh, and I got to address the whole thing about Black Lives Matter kids. Kids, really? I'm seeing some geriatrics out there. I'm seeing some almost centenarians. I'm seeing some elderly people out there that are part of so-called Black Lives Matter. Kids, like the way she said it is like everybody that's out there as part of Black Lives Matter is some kind of young black person that feels threatened by the police. No, that's just not what's going. Like, the reality is that it's mostly white. As far as those that are out there protesting and marching, mostly white. Even in a mostly black place like Atlanta, Georgia, it's still like 80% white. The rest, right around 20% black. You may have the sprinkling of the Hispanic or Asian, but that's not really common. It's usually guilty whites and then a handful of blacks that also feel guilty. When you're talking about, when you go straight to the hood, straight to these environments, Black Lives Matter does not really have a presence there. Her comments, Michelle Obama, her comments are divorced from reality. Your daughters are in no danger of being profiled by the police. As a matter of fact, they have their own police force. So what are you talking about? They're around police all the time because Secret Service, they got their back no matter what. Okay. Yes, Secret Service does apply to former presidents, kids of former presidents, kids of sitting presidents. As I close, I'm going to give you this story. When I was in Florida at Trump Doral, Trump Jr. was there. And I saw him in the clubhouse we were eating right by the golf course, beautiful place. I saw him there. I think he was with Kim, his girlfriend. And a fan came up to him, you know, MAGA hat, MAGA shirt. Fan came up to him real happy, just wanted to shake his hand. And then out of the shadows emerged Secret Service. Like, you didn't even really see him at first. They were kind of like in the cut, blending in. But then when that guy came up, kind of a little bit overzealous, you see the guys trying to like emerge from the shadows, holding their jacket and stuff. I'm like, okay, the Secret Service is dead real. And Michelle has that. Barack has that. Malia, Sasha, the dog, they all got the Secret Service protection. So don't throw the police for civilians under the bus while you rely on and depend on your private police force. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about Michelle Obama's comments? Are they out of touch? Not making a whole lot of sense? Do they make perfect sense? Do black folks and everybody else live in constant fear from being profiled by the police? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. This whole thing about racial profiling is so dumb. It's not really real. You know, I come from all black areas. I come from the so-called hood. It's just not really. You're more worried about those that are right around you. You know, mama always say, keep your head on the swivel. You know, notice what's going on around you. The police weren't really the concern. It's about those that live right next to you. It's about those that are watching you, seeing what you do, watching your patterns, and might want to rob your house, or might want to home invade, and might want to do something to you. Not the police. The police are truly the last bastion of hope in the black community. No dads around for real. Okay, the moms are barely there. You got grandma raising kids. And what is she going to do with this violent predator criminal that's terrorizing the community? What is she going to do? The police many times are the last bastion of hope. Don't throw the police under the bus. We need the police. Don't defund the police, refund the police. We need more of them, not less of them. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.